You've probably heard a lot about these e.l.f. Halo Glow wands that just got released. Today we're going to test them and see if they are fair skin friendly and worth the buy. So these are their new Halo Glow wands. They're being compared a lot to the Charlotte Tilbury Glow wands, which I've never tried, so that's not going to be the theme of our video today. We're just going to be reviewing these and see if they're worth it. So I have both the contour and the highlight here. They do also have a blush version, but it was sold out when I tried to get them. So we just have these two here. To start, this is what the packaging looks like. Super simple. I just thought I would keep it to show you. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the contour product. This is the contour wand. This is the lightest shade, Fair Light. If you haven't seen the packaging yet, it has one of those just like sponge tip applicators, and to get out the product, you just squeeze it and it will start to come out the top of it. So again, this is the lightest shade, and when I saw this swatch online, I was so excited because look at how perfect that contour shade is for fair skin. It's honestly matching my shirt right now. Let's go ahead and apply this. I do have the rest of my makeup on obviously, but I have not set anything. So to start, I'm going to just do a little bit on my cheekbones. I have been testing these out to get like a really good feel for them. I am using quite a lot. They're pretty sheer, which I think is actually really nice for contour products because it mimics a shadow a lot better. And as I already mentioned, the shade is just spectacular for fair skin. I'm also gonna do along the jawline here. The sponge applicator, I'm kind of torn on it. It is really nice and easy to apply. Is it the most hygienic? No, but this also is like quite a small tube, so you might go through it quicker and have to like replace it more often. I don't really know. But anyway, let's go ahead and blend this in. I'm using a Luxie 512 small contouring, and you'll be able to see that these do blend out really nice and easily. And as you can tell, it is more of a sheer product, so it's not going to give you that like instant full coverage, but as you can tell, it does give you this very beautiful natural looking shadow. I think they absolutely nailed this fair cool contour shade. I can't think of any other contour product that's at the drugstore that is this nice of a shade for fair skin. I've been trying this with different types of foundations as well, and I haven't had an issue with it like blending out or looking weird so far. That's why I like to try things in advance, so I really get a feel for them. Just for some background info, they are selling these on elfcosmetics.com as well as the Ulta website. As I'm looking at the contour product, it is in stock on Ulta if you wanted to pick it up. So it is $9 and there is 5 shades. For only having 5 shades, I do feel like the range is quite light and it also goes quite dark. Like I mentioned, they really nailed this shade. So they have 4 other shades: a light to medium, medium to tan, tan to deep, and then a deep to rich shade. Obviously I haven't tried any of the other shades, but just looking at the range of it, for only being 5, I feel like they did a pretty good job at covering a wide range of skin tones. I mean, it blended out super easily. There's like really not much to talk about because I just love this. That's pretty much the verdict on it. The shade is perfect. It blends out beautifully. It is definitely more of like a natural contour product. This is something you can use every day, and because it is more on that slightly sheer pigmentation, it's like a medium sheer pigment, it just looks a lot more natural versus having something heavy. It really doesn't feel like anything on the skin, and it does such a good job at mimicking a shadow. I'm obsessed with this, especially if you have fair skin and you really have a hard time with contour shades. This is beautiful. Next, let's talk about the highlight version. This is also $9. This only comes in 3 shades, which I think is like the big downfall of the highlight. There's this shade, which I have, is Champagne Campaign. There's Rose Quartz, which is a pink shade, and then there's Liquid Gold, which is a gold shade. I don't feel like they did as good of a job with the highlight shade range as they could have. The gold one's not that dark. If you have dark skin, I feel like that would still be maybe a little bit light on you. The pink and the champagne, I feel like they're both sort of geared towards more medium skin, which is really unfortunate. I got this one just to see if it would be light enough. Again, it has the same applicator, which I just squeezed out way too much. But there's the champagne shade. As you can tell, it is basically darker than my skin. I will be still trying it on to show you what it looks like. Same sort of application method here. I'm just going to be dabbing it on tops of my cheekbones and then a little bit on my nose. But for this, I am going to blend this out with a sponge. This so far that I've been testing, it like doesn't blend out the best. Like it takes a little bit of work to get into the skin. It can just like sort of stick to texture a little bit. It's not really pulling on camera, but you might be able to tell as I'm looking straight forward, it does cast dark on my skin, which is what I don't want. I want to highlight, not to be darker than my actual skin. So the shade just isn't right for me. It might be a different story if they had a lighter shade. I don't know why brands don't make like white highlights anymore for people with fair skin, because that's the next lighter shade, you know. For you very fair, sometimes white is like the only shade that will actually highlight your skin. I will say it looks pretty decent. I don't know, it's like clinging to texture. It looks pretty decent on my nose in terms of the shade. Like it doesn't seem as obviously dark as like the highlight on my cheek does. This is just really not my favorite out of the two. I think the contour is way better than this highlight formula. Keep in mind, I'm also not a huge liquid highlight person. I just find that they really accentuate texture, and like this one, it's just not blending like really nicely. I will say it is a subtle, like the formula of it is nice in terms of the sheen. Like it's not glittery or chunky. It just doesn't blend out in a way that I would want it to, but it just does give you like this really soft, pretty glow. I'm definitely interested in trying the blush versions out. I think they might be in stock in Ulta. I ordered on the e.l.f. website when they first came out, so it like sold out super quickly. Let me know if you want me to try that. But out of the two, this one's definitely the winner. I also wanted to mention that these do dry down, so there's not really a huge reason to set it. I have worn them both ways without setting them and setting. I feel like setting on my forehead especially prevents like transfer just from like, you know, fixing my hair and touching my forehead. But in terms of wear, they wear really well. I don't really have any complaints in the wear department. Highlight shade, just not the best for me, not my absolute favorite formula. Maybe if you're looking for a dupe of like higher end highlights that look like this. But I would totally recommend trying out the contour. Even if you don't have fair skin, maybe check out some of the other shades because this formula is beautiful. It's such a natural looking contour. It's super user friendly and easy to use, especially at the price point. It's a absolutely beautiful contour product. If you're interested in my contour techniques and a little bit more of an in-depth video, I did just post an ultimate fair skin contour guide where we did some underpainting. I think this would be great for underpainting, but also for over foundation. Definitely already a go-to in my makeup routine. Before we go, I also just have a new product to try, so let's try it in this video, why not? So these came out from Iconic London. They're on Sephora now. They're called their multi-use cheek glows. It's basically a bunch of different shades of glowy powders that you can sort of use however you want. So I wanted to see how this worked as bronzer and kind of make this like a dual review. So we're gonna try this out. I did try the blush. The thing is, they all sort of have like gold shimmer in them. This is the shade Date Night, by the way, which is one of the bronze shades. Let me show you the swatch. It is really beautiful. I mean, these as a highlight, if you have like medium skin, that would be really pretty. So this looks a little bit warm, but I'm going to shear this out and maybe see if we can get it to lay over this contour nicely. I'm just really curious to try these because they look so pretty. It's actually pretty nice. A little bit more sheer on the skin. If you don't use a lot, it does sheer out really nicely. Yeah, I think that's really pretty to go with the contour. Maybe a little bit too warm, too dark. I also have this really pretty like rose shade, which is called Oh Cheeky. Let's try to use this one as blush since I do not have any blush on yet. That might be just a little too dark on me. I will say it is oh my gosh, the glow. It's giving me like a very like bronzy look. Oh, that looks really pretty on the nose as well. Those are actually both really pretty. I feel like I just did like a little bit too much bronzer, but I love the glow that it gives. So they went really well over the e.l.f. products as well. I know this was kind of random, but I just felt like another new cheek product, right? Why not review it in this video as well? I do really like the glow. There's tons of pretty shades. I thought I would mention because of the Sephora sale as well, in case you were interested in them. I love Iconic London. They make such like glam, glowy products. Yeah, that was about it for our review and a little test out of these new e.l.f. products. I know it was brief, but I've been trying them for a couple days and doing wear tests, and the contour product definitely gets thumbs up for me. The highlight, I think, if you are a skin tone similar to mine, is passable. But I did also really enjoy these little Iconic London glowy powders. Kind of brought the whole look together. I will have everything else that I have on my face today linked below, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day, night, or afternoon. Let me know in the comments below what time of day you're watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notifications if you don't want to miss my next review. Let me know any new products you'd like a review on as well. I'm always chatting with you guys down in the comments below, but thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.